So Paula, can you please tell us how you met Luchadoras, and at what point did you feel the inspiration to make this film?
So we met the protagonist of the film by going to the fights. We knew that the Lucha Libre scene is very big in Juarez, so we decided to go there and see, like how do people live in such a place where it's so dangerous and where people are constantly afraid of something bad happening. And we went there, we approached them. At the beginning it was a little bit strange because they didn't know us and they didn't know, okay, like, what is this? Who are you? Can we trust you?
Right.
Of course. And then with less time, we connected very, very easily from the beginning, and it was very beautiful. It was beautiful to see, these women, they stand up every day. They have these really hard living conditions because of the place where they live, and they had this energy in life where they receive every day with a smile in the face, and they are totally willing to experience nice stuff, and they have a philosophy and a way of dealing with stuff that from the beginning was super inspiring. And so yeah, the inspiration to make the film were they, it was clear from the beginning, we want to make a film with this woman. And of course, at the beginning, there were more protagonists who were shooting with. But at some point, we at the end, and the editing, you decide them for. There are many reasons why you finally decide the people to be part of the films. But it was very inspiring, and also because, Ciudad Juárez is known because of all this horrible violence happening with women. And we've been very, let's say, very connected to what was happening in Juárez. And Patrick and I, Patrick is the co-director of the film, we will be asking, like, how does it happen? How can you have a normal life living in such a place? So when we discovered that Lucha Libre is such an important way of expression, and also like relieving and stuff, then we realized, okay, the contrast in the city is super huge. On one side, you have all this violence against women. In the other side, you have this woman jumping in the ring, super strong, saying, we're here to fight. And we thought, okay, we have to make a film with this. This is so big. This is so unique. And this is so universal at the end. So, yeah.
So why do you think they put it all on the line, the wrestlers? Like, and why do you, after making the film, of course, your perspective on the Luchadoras must have changed from the beginning of the production as to opposed to the end of the production. So why do you think they put it all on the line for their family, for themselves, and for the women in the city, of course?
Well, I think it's different from one to one. From each protagonist has different motivations why they are. I call them fighters. I like to call them fighters. In Spanish, the word fighter and wrestler is the same. It's luchadoras, and for me, it's clearly fighters. The word I like to use to describe them. So let's say Lady Candy, for example. She wanted to fight. She always said she wanted to fight. She wanted to be a fighter. And she will be, back in the days, she will be watching the fights with her 2 daughters and her ex-husband. Mm-hmm. And there's this one big luchadora, Zafiro, it's called. And she will watch Zafiro and she will say, wow, I want to be like this woman. She's so powerful, she's so strong. And the man will tell her, well, you will never get to be as good as she is. So, Mm-hmm. Years later, Lady Candy is jumping in the ring, showing everybody, but especially showing that man that she's able to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, right. Whatever it comes. So I think this is one of the motors, we'll say, to bring her up into the ring in her case. Baby Star is different. The story of Baby Star is different. She comes from a luchadores family, so she has this tradition in her family of going to the ring, being strong, training and stuff. And also yeah, I think for her, it's this family background, and it's also the idea to give her daughter a role model she can follow. You know,
Right.
the daughter is she's 5 years old right now, and I think for her it's important to tell her daughter, we're here, we're strong, we can do whatever we want. And with Mini Sirenita, it's again another situation, another motivation. She's working in the maquilas. And in these factories, you know, the assemble factories in Ciudad Juárez, she's earning really, really less money. She's been treated with horrible human conditions in these working places. So for her, Lucha Libre is like a way of being strong, getting out of all of these, and doing what she always wanted to do, which is her passion and being on the ring. And so, yeah, they have different motivations. At the end, maybe we could say, yeah, they all do it because they feel the need to show everyone that they are strong.
Nice, very nice, very nice. So actually filming in Mexico, it's such a beautiful thing to film in Mexico. There's so much color, there's so much vibrancy in your film, and it engages the audience. So tell us a little bit about that, or you can comment on that about, or briefly tell us about the experience of filming in Mexico, or the particular city that you were in.
The experience of filming in Mexico, well, I can tell you that it's probably different if you film in Juárez and if you film in, I don't know, somewhere, Mexico City or so. Each city is different. The experience of shooting in, I mean, I go back to the colors. I think it's a very nice thing, very nice topic to talk about. You know, Patrick and me, we're both cinematographers, and we take care a lot about what do images tell and how to tell the things with the pictures, with the images. So yeah, sun was very important. Colors were super important. Going out in the sun to film was super important. And it was funny because at some points the protagonist would say, well, you know what? We're always hiding from the sun when the sun is there, and with you, we always have to stay in the sun. Like, this is making us crazy. But they understood. I mean, now they've seen the film, they understood why we did that. And of course, you know, sunset, sunrise, and all these moments. So yeah, this was very important and super, super beautiful. The possibility to have the chance to shoot with the sun. You know, we're in Berlin. Even though you see the sun is coming in and out, that's the reality here. You know, the sun is very shy and you don't see the sun. So for us, the sun is like a very important part of the whole film, actually, in different levels. So, and then the experience of shooting in Juárez, well, it is a tough place. Juárez is a place where danger is everywhere. And this is the reality of the place. And it's not only stories you hear, that's the reality. You go out in the streets and there was a shooting and somebody's lying dead on the corner. This happens like every day. So I think the biggest challenge of shooting in Juárez was to deal with our fears, because, you know, when you know you're in a dangerous place, then the next thing that comes with that is the fear. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the situation that maybe I will feel totally out of my secure zone, and for Patrick will be a very totally chill situation. So those were the most difficult moments. How do you know that your feelings, and I usually listen to my belly language. How do you know if this is paranoia or if this is really, or if you're really in a dangerous situation? So this was the most difficult thing to deal with while we were there. Yeah.
You have a lot of shots or sequences where you're filming in the actual border between Texas and Mexico, and you make that very again vibrant in the film, and it's a focus. So can you tell us a little bit about that, because I find that very very noteworthy, of course, and especially with like race relations and in America, and especially Trump's proposal back in the day of like building a wall. But you know, it's very symbolic, that shot. So can you maybe comment a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. It was super interesting because the first time we arrived to Juarez, they were building the wall, or they were building the fence. It's not a wall, it's a fence.
Yep.
So you could really see, like, okay, there was this fence here, and then there was nothing. And then you could really feel, okay, like before this was here, it was just open. There was nothing separating Mexico and USA. Okay, the river, but it was very dry. So actually, there was just some earth. There
Right.
was nothing but the river separating the two countries, which was actually super beautiful. But then, of course, after a couple of months, the fence was crossing by the whole border. So it cut, because we knew for one moment Juarez without the wall or without the fence, for us was like, what? I mean, this is a huge change for the people living here, you know, like suddenly, bang, you cannot cross. And of course they were not crossing anyway, but you have now this in your horizon. It's changing everything, how you perceive the world, how you perceive your life. So yeah, the wall was the fence is for sure an interesting part of the city. And shooting in the fence was intense. And you could feel, you know, like, okay, the fence is really, the separation of the thingies are very, very small. So like a child could go in between.
Wow. Okay.
Not an let's say an adult. For an adult it would be different, but for a child could really squeeze between the two things, how they build the fence. So somehow you feel, okay, they are closing it, but also not 100%.
Right.
And of course this generates all these, which already was there, but like the place is controlled by all these cartels and human trafficking people and all this stuff. So you know that the border, especially since there was a real border, you know, this place is the places in Juarez were places where, yeah, we experienced that, places where you shouldn't go, and we experienced that in the film. You can see that in this scene when suddenly we realized that there were some people following us, or who were showing us without words that they didn't want us to be there while we were shooting. Mm-hmm. And that's when we left and generated a lot of fears after that, because of course we jumped in the car, we were shooting, Patrick and I were behind the cameras telling stuff, and then baby's mother comes to us and says, Paola, we should leave. And you know, like, okay, if she said we should leave, I'm not gonna question this. This is like, and that's again the thing, you know. For us, we didn't feel the tension. For Patrick and me, we didn't feel like, okay, there's a car there, okay, whatever, a car. Mm-hmm. But for them, it was clear, this is a message, and we have to read the message, and the message says we have to leave. We left. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we were afraid, where are we going? We cannot go home if we have the fear that somebody's following us. So we went to an arena, to this place where the luchas takes place. And we stayed there for a couple of hours, and then everybody left. So yeah, the border has a very, very big meaning to Juarez. And it changed a lot. This fence changed a lot how, yeah, people's realities, like a lot. Yeah. Every border does, actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what do you think of wrestlers now that you put this together? So what do you think of wrestling in general?
I really think that wrestlers are superheroes. They are real life superheroes. They, first of all, they have this history, and they have their roles and the way they look and all of this is already telling you a story, yeah? And then they come into the ring, and then they do these flips and jumps and flights and whatever. When you stay there and you're like, what the fuck? This is no visual effects in the post, you know? Like, yeah. They're really doing crazy stuff. So, but the best of that is that after all of that, they come down the ring, and you can touch them, you can talk to them, you can take your selfie, you can be with these people, you know. So it's not only Superman in the TV screen, it's somebody you can really touch and hug and so and so for me, they really represent these role models for so many people, like children, families, mothers, fathers, for everyone. I think it's super beautiful. Everything, this energy, exchange that takes place in a Lucha Libre fight is super beautiful. I really enjoy it, and I really love it now that after we've made the film, we didn't know so much about Lucha Libre before, and now it's, hey, respect, man.
Absolutely. And Paula, last questions. So how do you feel? First of all, congratulations for being selected to South by Southwest. So tell us how much this means to you. And of course, South by Southwest is held in Austin, Texas. So obviously this film will resonate with a lot of the audience who are coming to South by Southwest online. So tell us how you feel.
Well, I mean, of course, we are super happy, and I think there could not be a better place for the film to be premiered, because South by Southwest is so close to Ciudad Juárez that actually I feel like there is like a very strong connection. It's a pity that we are having the festival online now, because imagine we could go from Juárez to Austin. I think it's 6 hours drive or something, like a caravan of fighters and luchadoras and all together, and doing a big show there and celebrating the film and everything what the film brings with it, like all this feminism fight, and it will have been so nice. So yeah, sadly this is not going to happen, but we can dream of it, and this is also super nice. And yeah, South by Southwest is a wonderful place to be, and I'm really excited to be there and share all this experience with all the people from there. It's gonna be new to make a festival online, I have to say. I hope my internet connection doesn't stop, because there are a lot of problems here with the internet. It's amazing. We're living in Germany, and the internet connection is so fucked up. It's crazy. So I hope it's crazy, really. It's like, what? Come on, but it's okay. That's how it is. So I'm gonna move the router to the window so that everything is fine and no problems are gonna happen. That's my biggest fear, that the internet is falling out.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Paula, and congratulations once again for your film Luchadoras. I hope it does so well at South by Southwest. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. That's super nice, and we are very, very happy to be here.